real.
I mean, seriously.
This is Indiana, you know. If you don't like the weather, it'll change in a couple minutes. So we're glad to be here.
Governor, Governor, there's talk that you did really well with Donald Trump.
I'm sorry.
About your last few days.
Well, we just had a great visit with the Trumps, and it was a tremendous honor for our family to have the chance to spend some personal time with them. They couldn't have been more kind and gracious, and we'll always count it a privilege that we were able to spend some personal time getting to know someone who I believe must be the next president of the United States of America.
If Donald Trump offered you the job, everything I hear is that you really impressed him with your record as governor, the graciousness in your endorsement. If they offered you the position, would you take it?
You know, I love my job and I love my country, but I'm not going to get into hypotheticals. I mean, this was a time that we'll always cherish, where we were really able to spend some personal time as a family with the Trumps, to get to know them more personally. We talked about our country, we talked about the progress we've made in Indiana, and we were just honored by the invitation.
Does this mean you're still running for governor?
I am the governor of Indiana, and I'm running for re-election this year, and I'm focused on the job. Frankly, we've got some pretty tough weather moving through southern Indiana tonight. We're watching this weather that's going to be moving through the 4th of July, but you know, this is a challenging time in the life of our nation, and I love my job, I love my country.
What do you think about Trump that excites you?
I'm sorry?
What is it about Trump that excites you?
Well, I support Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States of America because I think that not only does Indiana need a partner for our prosperity in the White House, but as I said not long ago, you know, our troops need a commander-in-chief who will have their back. Hardworking Americans and businesses need a president who will get Washington, D.C. off their back. And we need a president who will appoint common sense conservatives to the Supreme Court of the United States. I think on all of those issues, Donald Trump will provide the kind of leadership that will strengthen our nation, restore our prosperity, and provide the kind of appointments to the Supreme Court that we'll be pleased to support.
What do you think you bring to the ticket that some of the other candidates under consideration don't?
Well,
I
I would leave that to others. I would tell you that I think much of the attention that's being paid to us is a great compliment to the people of Indiana, to what the people of Indiana have accomplished over much of the last 12 years. I mean, we're a state with balanced budgets, with low taxes, that's made historic investments in education, in infrastructure, innovated in healthcare, and we talked a lot about those things. And he was very interested in the progress in the state of Indiana as much as I was interested in his plans for the future.
Did you learn anything about him that you didn't know? Any surprises? Anything like, oh, I had no idea about that?
He's a very good golfer.
Did you win?
He beat me like a drum, which is not really saying much. I'm really not a very good golfer, but he was actually, I mean, they were, throughout our time with them, they were very gracious and kind, especially on the golf course.
Karen, what did you think? Because obviously any decision that has been made about Mike running for vice president, I'll argue you're 2/3 of the decision-making process.
Thank you.
You know her.
No, they were very, very kind. I mean, they were very gracious to us. They could not have been more kind to us. We had one of our kids with us, and they were very nice to her. And it was just, like Mike said, it was just a privilege, really. It was an honor. It's something I think we'll remember the rest of our lives, to be able to have that much time with someone that we're hoping will be the next president of the United States.
Tell me about getting that call that asked you to do this. You could have easily said no. You decided to go ahead and take that call and go out there. Tell me why you decided to do that.
For me, the opportunity to sit down and have some real personal time with someone who I hope is the next president of the United States was a great privilege, and not one that I could pass up. Whatever the future holds, the opportunity for me as governor of Indiana to build a relationship with someone who I hope is sitting in the Oval Office this next January was a profound privilege. But I also want to say it was a lot of fun They couldn't have been more gracious and kind to me and to my family, and we really enjoyed the time.
Can I get your reaction to the controversial tweet that Donald Trump sent out yesterday with the Star of David?
I'm not familiar with it. I'm not familiar with it.
Do you think he should apologize for that?
Yes, go ahead.
Did you at all talk about the possibility of you joining him on the campaign trail, if not as a VP pick, then as a surrogate?
Well, I'm supporting Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States of America. I think we've made it clear that we'll look forward to campaigning with him in Indiana and anywhere else that he thinks we can be helpful. I really do believe that we need new leadership in this country, and I believe that the strong leadership that Donald Trump would provide on national security, on prosperity, and on the Supreme Court is a case that I'd be willing to make anywhere they'd want us to make it.
Governor, I know one of the things that has been a concern for you is would you be a good fit? What would be the role of the vice president? Did you ask Mr. Trump those questions, and what was his response? I know, I'm just that good.
I'm just. What I could tell you, this was a very enjoyable personal time between two families, and we got to know each other a lot better, and as nothing was offered, nothing was accepted, and I'll just always be grateful for the time that we had.
Indiana and the Republican Party are hanging in the balance, Governor. Do you feel like there needs to be a time where voters in Indiana and people in your own party need to have an answer?
Oh, sure. I truly do, and there are statutory deadlines, as you know, for being on the ballot in the state of Indiana, and we'll be very respectful of that. Here in Indiana, this has happened before. People in both political parties in this state have had the compliment of being mentioned in this process, and again, I honestly believe that the attention that we're receiving in this is really a compliment to the people of Indiana, to the progress that our state has made, to the way that we've demonstrated that you can balance budgets, you can cut taxes, you can advance education reforms and infrastructure and even health care reform, and you can do it all in a way that leads to record employment in our state and the kind of prosperity many Hoosier families are enjoying. So I take the compliment on behalf of the people of Indiana, and we'll roll our sleeves up and see what the future holds.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Hope you stick. You'll love the concert. You really will.
It's a little chilly out here.
It's VIP under this tent, Governor. We're not allowed to stay.
They're out there. That's what I heard. Everything
Fair point.
really good. Real positive.
Fair point. See what I can do.
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, cool. Always good to see you, young lady. Here to enjoy the symphony.
Thank you. Just step back while you get to.
My friend. Save me a trip to Noblesville tomorrow. Thank you.
I still get to go. Thank you, guys.